from my studies there and from my practice and as a practicing therapist as well, I've come to see how our reliance on thinking that we should know everything is very, holds us back. And we've kind of embraced the fact that human beings, as we grow, as we have been on this planet for millions of years, have found ways to get through the most unknowable of situations. And that is how we've survived. And that is how we've built everything around us. If you just look at it, so much, right? Humans are like continuous builders. Um, but that doesn't mean we know what's going to happen. And part of our lives is a major part of it is the unknowability of almost everything in our lives. If you think about personal relationships and what kinds of conversations we have and what might come of those conversations, we don't know. If you think about like nowadays, there's so much talk about uncertainty and uncertainty about the economy, but the reality is it was never certain, right? You can sometimes feel like this is a moment of major uncertainty. And yes, there are more or less, if you look around the world and the different kinds of struggles that are going on for people. I'm not saying it isn't, but to the extent that we think we're going to know and be able to know what's going to turn out, it holds us back. And it doesn't allow us to make use of our capacity to create, to see what's there, see what's possible. So we want to work together today to see if we can collectively help each other embrace unknowability more, that there are some things that we just cannot know.
Mhm.
Okay. And some of them are like looking out into the universe and the stars, and you're like, what? And some of them, like I was saying, is we think we know that if we leave today from our houses, we'll get to work in an hour, but we actually don't know because we don't know what's going to happen along the way. So I have a quote I want.
Talk about emotions, the about the unknown. I've always been trained to actually know stuff because doctors are expected by patients. But while we were playing this morning, it was actually refreshing, and there's a big release to be able to admit that I don't know a lot of things. Like that's why it's called practice. And whenever there's an unknown back then, I would be anxious and scared. But now, since because of improv, I've realized that it's okay that I don't know, and it's actually nice to be kind to myself. So while listening to your stories, it's really nice to have those different kinds of emotions and kindness to myself. So now when I'm faced with the unknown, I face it with a little bit more of patience, and I'm really like excited that I can face it, and it's okay if I don't know. And maybe when I rely on others and on myself, maybe we can try to discover it. So that is just how I view the unknown nowadays. So thank you for listening.
Yeah.
Hey, crew.